You guys, meet Bradley on a budget, arguably the cheapest TikToker alive. From unplugging his fridge while he's on vacation for a couple of days to foregoing health insurance in an attempt to save money, he has built a life around extreme frugality.
My $1 breakfast, to unplugging my fridge when I go away for a few days because I don't want to keep it running, to keeping everything unplugged to lower my electric bill.
And ironically, the thing is, unplugging your fridge frequently can actually cause more harm than good. When it comes to refrigerators, the compressor has to work much harder to cool everything back down, which puts extra strain on the fridge and can shorten its lifespan. So I feel like this is only doing him more damage in the long haul just to save, what, a couple bucks on his electricity bill? Like, come on. Is it really worth it?
I'm frugal and will find any way to save money, so these are all the things society would tell you you need that I think as someone who's frugal, you don't. I don't buy screen protectors. Anytime I've bought a new phone, I keep the factory wrapping on the screen, but as you could see, it got really bad. Instead of buying a screen protector, I just use Packers tape. I did this years ago when I shattered my phone screen and it worked very well. Okay, I can admit this next one may be gross, but I don't have toenail clippers. I've always used scissors. Even before money traumatized me, I've just always used scissors to cut my toenails. Not telling you to do it, shut up! I can't believe people buy water bottles. That is so insane to me. So expensive and it's very wasteful. Get a water filter and a reusable bottle and call it a day. So I'm a believer you don't need most kitchen products. So ever since I moved into my apartment, I never got a strainer. Just strain the water using the lid from the pot. That one time I made my frugal pizza and I don't have a rolling pin, so I just use a drinking glass. Having a tool for every little thing just seems kind of weird to me. Ever since moving into my apartment 6 years ago, I've never bought trash bags. Literally, my trash bag this week is a fast food bag. My coworker who got lunch. I have a friend who gets grocery delivery. She keeps the paper bags for me. This one may be weird, but instead of buying a sleeping mask, I just put a t-shirt over my eyes. When you've lived in financial survival mode for so many years, brain will find crazy ways to save money. So you don't need to buy coasters. You could either use junk mail. For me, I eat a lot of graham crackers. I just cut a little piece of the box off and voila, you have a coaster. I don't believe in travel cosmetic bags. Pretty sure I was given food in this plastic bag a few years ago. I cleaned it out and ever since this has been my little travel bag. Speaking of travel stuff, don't spend a lot of money on travel size things. Just utilize your resources. I've used this little bottle for many years. Gone through the airport with it. It's never been a problem. It gets the job done and I don't have to spend money. Also never bought curtains because I had this extra set of twin bed sheets. I just use a little safety pin to create a loop. I got the job done with them.
If you've watched the show Extreme Cheapskates, well, it's like that, but 10 times worse, you guys. Now Bradley is getting called out all over social media because people feel like he's gone too far, and it comes to a point where a line has to be drawn. So let's get into this chaos, you guys. Bradley, known as Bradley on a Budget on social media, transformed his financial situation from being over $100,000 in student loan debt to accumulating $300,000 in savings throughout the course of 11 years. Bradley used to live in New York City and he went to culinary school, and after graduating, he landed a job where he was only making $12 to $14 per hour, which led to significant financial stress and even a hospital visit. Bradley was determined to regain control of his life though. He adopted extreme frugality.
It's time for my weekly shower, so this is my shower routine as someone who's frugal, who loves to save money but also avoids overconsumption because I refuse to live a life like this at all cost. I have a busy morning ahead, so I just meal prepped my lunch for work. Now it's time for me to shower. This is my cute little bathroom. So simple and outdated. I love it. First thing I have to do is take the trash bags out of the shower, do dumpster dive for bottles and cans to make extra money. But my apartment is small and I have nowhere to put the trash bags, so I decided to start putting them in the shower. I'm gonna be crucified for this one, but these are the only two towels that I've owned ever since I moved into my apartment almost 6 years ago. Fortunately, my yellow towel had a freak accident and now it's all shredded up, but I stapled it back together. It's my emotional support towel, okay? So shut up! Even though I have a floor rug, I use a towel just to soak up any water. Shower's basically empty. The only two things I have are shampoo and a bar of soap. Truly don't think anything else is necessary, and I also don't ever buy soap. I have a family member who travels a lot for work. They stay in a lot of hotels, and I said, can you grab the bars of soap when you travel? By doing that, I've never had to buy soap. And I have this thing for my lotion bottle just because my drains sometimes get clogged, so I just use that. Make sure I open the window for ventilation. I don't run the actual vent just to save money on the electric bill. Before I hop in, I find some music to listen to. My latest obsession is Vodka Cranberry by Conan Gray. Go stream. Because I rent, I don't have to pay for water, but using hot water raises the electric bill. I'll limit my showers to about 2 songs, and after 2 songs, I know it's time to wrap up, which is about a 7 to 8 minute shower, which isn't too bad. Then I just do my morning usuals like brushing my teeth, put on lotion and sunscreen, then I get ready and head out to work. I'm not telling people this has to be your shower routine to save money, but this is my routine and this is how I'm happy living my life, while also not giving in to overconsumption. Thanks for watching.
He also minimized living expenses by winterizing his apartment and working 8 to 10 different side hustles.
This is how much money I made in August as a workaholic with 10 side hustles who will find any way to make money. Starting with my biggest income stream is being a content creator. From posting content and a brand deal payment, I made $10,633. August was definitely a bigger month for earnings. I don't typically earn that much every month. None of this is possible without you guys. I love my budget baddies. I'm so grateful for you guys. So this part, love you guys. Also on a certain website where I post wholesome content. You know, if you don't ask. Thank you to everyone who supports me on there. I'm a financial coach in my life off of the phone screen. I work in between part-time and full-time, and I made $1,724 doing that. Next, I'm a dog sitter, and I had a couple dog sits booked in August. Between the pay pay and any tips I received, I made $875. I'm a jack of all trades because I'm also a crisis counselor on a hotline. It was very busy in August, but I was able to sign up for a few shifts and I made $396 from that. I also have a brand partnership with Trusted House Sitters. I use them for free places to stay when I travel in exchange for me providing pet care. There's a link in my bio that you could use to sign up for a free account or use Bradley25 for 25% off a membership. Also opened a new CD account. I know this isn't a side hustle, but it's a way I make money. In its first 2 weeks, I made $342. Also mow lawns for 2 people. From doing 4 cuts in the month of August, I made $160. I'm also a dancer at a nightclub. Yes, it doesn't stop there. It's very busy, so I can only dance one night in August. From that one night, I made $124. I'm also a house cleaner for someone I used to work with. She's older and could really use the help, which is why I don't charge her a lot of money. From cleaning her house twice in August, I made $85. I'm also a dumpster diver for bottles and cans to recycle them for money. I know it may be gross to some people, but I get 10 cents per item. But to me, I feel like it's a pretty easy way to make quick money. I don't know why, but I tend to find a lot of change on the ground. I'm gonna start including that in my monthly income because why not? So the total from all my income streams in August comes to $18,897.43. Years ago, my life looked so completely different. I never thought for a minute this could ever be my life. Don't give up. I love you.
He lives in this tiny apartment, which gets a little messy sometimes because he works 8 to 10 different side hustles. But in his world, as long as he's happy, everything is okay. Now, you guys might be thinking on the surface, Bradley's tips can seem harmless and even smart. I mean, at the end of the day, he is saving a ton of money and he shares educational advice most schools don't teach, helping his followers save money and rethink spending habits. But now people argue he's taking it to an unsustainable and potentially unhealthy extreme, and I can see why. Now, in the beginning, some people assumed he was just trying to provoke online reactions, sort of like rage baiting, because his lifestyle is so stringent and extreme, but it's genuinely who he is, you guys. His frugal habits seem to be rooted in past trauma. Again, he was left with $140,000 in debt, and he ended up in a job making only $12 to $13 an hour. Since then, his whole mantra is save, 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 and never spend unless it's an absolute necessity. It looks like he's at a point in his life where he's obsessed with making money, and that's his end-all be-all goal. And he explains how he fears returning to his previous financial struggles. And Bradley often criticizes people for spending money on non-essentials like eating out, and he really takes pride in finding every possible way to cut costs, like using scissors to cut his toenails instead of an actual toenail clipper that you could literally get from like the dollar store.
Maybe you can't save money because you've been convinced living an over-consuming, money-wasting lifestyle is normal. You think going out to eat and spending hundreds of dollars a month on food is normal. You think owning a car with a $600, $700, $800 monthly car payment is normal. You think blowing through your paycheck, buying things that you want, all in the name of treating yourself, which then leaves you with no money, is normal. Maybe thinking money is only something to spend is not working for you. When I was in $130,000 of debt, not making a lot of money, I refused to spend money that was on anything but necessities. I don't care that I was getting a paycheck. I don't care that I saw money in my bank account because I was saving my money. I lived like I had no money. Oh, well, Bradley, that's no fun. Yeah, well, being stressed about money isn't fun either. Being broke all the time is not fun either. Working all the time and having nothing to show for it in your bank account is not fun either. And yet you keep making these awful choices with money that keep you stuck there. Maybe you would save money and be able to get ahead if you would stop wasting your money on crap all the time. Anyways, keep doing what you're doing and refuse to make any changes, and let me know how that works for you.
And don't even get me started on him stapling his towel that's probably like 6 years old. That I can't get by. More recently, Bradley has started making cleaning videos on TikTok, and now clean talk is really coming for him. He recently made a video showing his apartment and how dirty it got because he's been so busy juggling multiple different side hustles, and clean talk has really been coming for him. And the thing with Bradley is he gets very defensive when he gets called out, often making videos to clap back at the critics who question his lifestyle or label his habits as dangerous. Bradley's credibility also took a hit after he promoted DoorDash in one of his sponsored posts recently, despite his extreme thriftiness, and he also revealed in a TikTok that he makes around $17,000 a month, so I feel like it would be really good for him in the long haul to outsource cleaning his apartment, because the thing is, when you have a clear space, you have a clear mind, and you're able to perform better.
Bradley, you are not the only person that has ever struggled. When I was 22, I was so broke that literally the only thing I had to eat for an entire week was peanut butter sandwiches. I literally had to count the pieces of bread in a loaf to make sure I had enough for at least one sandwich a day. That's all that I would have to eat, because I literally could not afford anything else. I couldn't get a second job because the way my hours were at my main job, it just didn't align. I didn't have a car. I did have a bus pass. The bus would never get me to these second jobs on time, and I wasn't going to show up late because I don't show up late to anything. And it's not always as simple as telling people to get all these side hustles, because sometimes people's original jobs do not allow that. Sometimes people don't even have time off their original jobs to even go interview for a second job or to go do a side gig. Like, it's a luxury that you make a majority of your income off content creation because it allows you to do all of these different side hustles. It allows you to be able to do that. A lot of normal people cannot do that. They're doing their absolute best.
But that's the controversy surrounding Bradley, you guys. I want to know what you think about all of this. This is insane. And despite all the criticism, his page is growing rapidly. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments down below. I love you guys so much. And as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.